sure everybody's all set to go and enjoy tomorrow being with family and friends. It's a great day, and it looks like the weather's going to cooperate too as well, so everybody can take advantage of that. Well, we wanted to go ahead and give a update on what was happening in the political arena and give you some information so you can start to think about just what might be happening come January 1st. Things will be changing. So real quick, let me go ahead and update you on the ALR and the ALF and the QMAP issues. On the ALR rules, there's another meeting coming up on December 8th. And again, they're working on those rules. They've been working on them since last summer. Nothing new really to report because things haven't all been put together, but they are meeting on a monthly basis and are hard at it. Same thing with the ALF. The ALF rules are a little further along, and those will be coming out in January, or at least they will start to look at those, and we'll have things to review once they're done before they get the final approval. On the QMAP privatization, we've had 6 meetings so far. And again, we're just going through bits and pieces of the statute and updating that so that it tracks with the legislation that was passed last session, last January. So we'll keep you up to date on those. Once we've got something in writing, we'll be getting that out to everybody so that they can go ahead and review them and then give us your input. Matter of fact, once we've got something on any of those areas in which we're participating as a stakeholder, we will get those out to people so that you can go ahead and see them and then make your comments so that we can go ahead and get those on the record. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide and take a look at what we're going to talk about. Well, right off the bat, let's talk about the federal election. Was it a surprise? You betcha. The result was nobody expected it. But regardless, this is what the people wanted. This is what's happened. The Republicans control the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. They have the Triple Crown. So it's going to be very interesting to see what new types of things they are going to be proposing after our President-elect Trump has put together his cabinet and his key people. It's up in the air, obviously. The selection of candidates, I'm sure you've been watching on TV on all of the people that are going and visiting with President-elect Trump. It's a very diverse group, to say the least. This is the first time the Republicans have had the Triple Crown in over 50 years. So if that's any indication, obviously the people that voted, they were anxious for a change, and we definitely have gotten that. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. Some of the issues that they're going to be looking at is obviously the Obamacare issue is going to be one of the big issues that will matter of fact, I think that's at the top of the agenda, and once the new President-elect Trump is in office, I think you're going to start to see things. That'll be the first piece of legislation that you're going to go ahead and see what the Republicans are going to go ahead and do with that. Will they totally get rid of it? Will they modify it? My bet is they're going to modify it in some way, shape, or form that's going to be a little more manageable. Some of the other interesting things that obviously they're going to be looking at is being the whole health insurance issue. They want to look at different ways in which health insurance can be delivered. And they want to be able to look at buying health insurance across state lines. One of the things that prevents this from happening is the McCarran-Ferguson Act, which was passed many, many years ago. But what it does is it says that health insurance will be regulated by the states, not the federal government. So in essence, you've got 50 different ways in which health insurance is handled by each of the states. They're looking at reestablishing risk pools. Now, risk pools are they go ahead and combine people and establish these pools of people to draw their coverage for that. The downside on risk pools is that they're very expensive and they're very difficult to manage, and a lot of people can't afford to get into risk pools. Modernize Medicare. They're looking at block grants. They're looking at different ways in which to go ahead and give the states the ability to manage their Medicare, excuse me. And then we get down here to administering Medicaid. This is a big draw on every state's budget, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. All of those issues are going to be before the Congress when they come back into session in January. Let's go to the next slide, Peter. All right, let's take a look at the state election because this is more personal. This is more. This is here. It's in our. It's right here. We can understand it. We can participate more fully in it. And so here's what's happened. In 2016, there were 37 Dems and 31 Republicans that made up the House of Representatives, 65 members. As a result of this year's election, the Democrats gained some more seats. They gained 3 more seats. It's now 37 Democrats to 28 Republicans. So the Democrats do control the Colorado House of Representatives. The House leadership is Crisanta Duran. She's a Democrat. She resides in Denver, and she is an attorney. And the majority leader is Casey Becker, again a Democrat from Boulder, and also an attorney. And the minority leader, Patrick Neville, is a Republican from Franktown, and he is a business owner. So those are the key leaders within the House of Representatives. Now, what they haven't yet done is they haven't selected committee chairman and vice chairman, and then where all 65 members, what committees those 65 members will be assigned to. We won't see anything in that arena until probably after the first of the year, maybe a little earlier. We'll see how quickly they work putting that all together. So we'll just have to wait and see. And with our next update next month, we should have something so we can go ahead and see what that means to the types of issues that will be considered by the Colorado legislature. So the Democrats do control the House of Representatives. Let's go to the next slide, Peter. All right, let's take a look at the Colorado Senate. In 2016, there were 18 Republican and 17 Democrats. And guess what? In 2017, it's 18 Republicans and 17 Democrats. The Republicans did manage to maintain control of the Colorado Senate. The new president is Kevin Grantham, a Republican from Canyon City. He's a real estate appraiser. The Senate Majority Leader, Chris Holbert, is from Centennial, again a Republican. He's a business consultant. The Minority Leader is Lucia Guzman, who's a Democrat from Denver. She's retired. The interesting thing about this is that Laura Woods, a Republican senator here in Arvada, a business owner, she lost her race. And but Kevin Priola, again a Republican from Henderson and another business owner, won in Adams County. So that's how the Colorado Senate, the Republicans were able to go ahead and maintain control of the Senate. So you've got the Republicans in control of the Senate, the Democrats in control of the House, and you have Governor Hickenlooper, a Democrat, who is still our governor. He did not have to run. His seat was not up. He's got 2 years left being governor, and so the next election we'll see what happens in that arena as to who will end up leading the state in that position. Let's go to the next one. The legislative issues that we've got going. We've got the hospital provider fee. This was a contentious issue last session. And not sure where that is going to go this year. It's up again to collect those fees, so we're just going to have to wait and see. Insurance mandates. I think you're going to see more and more, particularly with the change on the federal level as to the type of mandates that may be introduced this session to complement what may be happening on the federal level. We're just going to have to wait and see where that goes. Pharmaceutical transparency, we've all been reading about it, where some drug may have cost maybe $50, that people are bumping it up and it now costs $500. People want to know why there's such a discrepancy in the pricing of pharmaceuticals. And so there was a transparency bill last session. It didn't even make it out of committee. And so, but that's going to be back this year. And the whole issue there is to try to show people why things cost what they do. Provider directories. This stems from people not being able to find who their primary doctor is, where they can go to get things done. It's all over the board, and there's no way to fully understand just who you get to relate to. This has been a very contentious issue in the legislature. It's been there several years in a row, hasn't gone anywhere. We'll see what happens this session. Freestanding emergency rooms. I don't know about you, but it looks like that on every corner there is a freestanding emergency room there. The issue is the cost of these emergency rooms to users. People go in there, find out, they go in there, get stitches, they cut their finger, and find out that they had 5 stitches, and then they get a bill for $5,000 and wonder how in the world 5 stitches can cost $5,000. So there is a real uproar on trying to control or at least require these emergency rooms to post their charges and whether or not they will take people's insurance. Some of these do not do that. You have to pay cash. It's a very interesting issue, and that is going to be very, very contentious in the 2017 legislative session. Assisted living referrals. There's been an issue about the way in which referrals are handed through the referral companies to assisted livings. And so there is some discussion there on possible legislation to require full disclosure of what that means when you work with a referral company in placement of your clients. Medicaid. We all are looking at Medicaid. The cost of Medicaid is a huge part of the state budget. We as assisted living professionals and owners are looking for ways in which we can get our Medicaid fees increased. And so this will be another very, very interesting issue when it comes to the review of the 2017-2018 Colorado state budget. We'll keep you posted on what's happening in that particular area once the session starts. Let's go to the next one, Peter. Those are the big issues. But before we get into this, I want to talk a little bit about what this means, the way in which the legislature is set up. You've got the House being controlled by the Democrats. You have the Senate being controlled by the Republicans. And so it's going to require a lot of reaching out across the aisle to get the votes to get things passed. If the House initiates legislation that's it just may be extremely radical, it will go nowhere in the Senate. If the Senate does something that's not going to work with the House, it's not going to go anywhere in the House. So the checks and balances there are extreme. if things get passed that one house doesn't like and it manages to get through the second house and it gets to the governor's desk, you know, it's going to be tough to go ahead and ask the governor to veto something or to, you know, to support something. So it's going to be really, really contentious session that'll start on January 11th and go through May 7th. So that's extremely important to understand what the dynamics are as to how the legislation that will be introduced will flow through the whole process. Last year we saw a little over 600 pieces of legislation being introduced. I don't expect anything less this year. It could be more, given the fact that we have a new president. He's got a new cabinet. They've got control of the Congress. It's going to be very, very interesting. Before we close, I want to go ahead and talk about some of the things that the association is doing for its members. We've got our Christmas gathering on December 14th at Nona's Italian Bistro down there in Centennial. We brought our Christmas gathering down there because we have such a great concentration of members down there, and I would encourage all of you to go ahead and register online. It's $15, and come on down and celebrate. Do a little networking. Get to know who the other members are in the association, as well as if you know anybody that's not a member, please bring them along so they can see what we do, get to know us, and then join the association. Another important date to put down in your new 2017 calendar is the CALA legislative reception on January 18th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Colorado Automobile Dealers Association at 290 South Spear Boulevard here in Denver. We've done our reception there for the last 3 years, and we always have a tremendous turnout. We have great participation by the Colorado legislature. We have great participation by our members. It's an opportunity for you to interact directly with the members of the Colorado legislature. I would encourage you to contact your senator and representative that represents you where your assisted living facility is, and invite them. Tell them to come on down, and so that you can go ahead and meet with them one-on-one. I want you to watch your emails because we've got our brain food programs. Will be starting very shortly. Our first program is going to be on identity theft, and we did this at the fall conference, and it was an overwhelming success. More and more people said, great session, we want more information. So watch your email for when this brain food will be done, and our first one will be identity theft. Reminder, one of the things that we did at our fall conference was have a session on the new U.S. Department of Labor overtime rules that go into effect December 1st. This is the base from which you can exclude people from overtime has been raised. It went from 25,000 to 47,000, and so please be aware of this so that you don't get caught. If you've got any questions, just give the U.S. Department of Labor a call or go online and take a look at it. You can see the rule there and learn more about it. See if it does affect you come December 1st. Last but not least, the Government Relations Committee of the association is looking for more members. If you're interested in participating in this year's legislative session on the issues, please give us a call so we can get you signed up. You'll find that it's a great way in which to be current on all of the public policy that's being considered by the Colorado State Legislature, and you'll be helping the association monitor the legislation, take positions on legislation, go to the committee hearings and testify on behalf of the association. So we're looking for a few good committee members. The more the merrier. So please come to the go to the website or give us a call and sign up for the Government Relations Committee. Let's go ahead now, Peter, and take questions and go from there.
All right. Questions. Just click the little question icon or the chat box there and let us know what questions you have.
Oh, come on now, guys. You know we got 28 people out there. You've got to have some questions.
They're thinking. They're thinking.
They're thinking, okay.
Let's see. You need to call Janelle Molina. I'll get you her number.
Cool. Do we have any questions? Anything?
Questions. Type your questions in the question box or the chat.
I hope everybody's taken an opportunity to find out who their new legislators are in the state, who their representative is, and who their senator is. And I hope you go ahead and reach out to them and introduce yourself. And I would encourage you to invite them to come to your facility to see and show them what you do, how you help people out, how your facility works. That helps out a bunch because the more they know about you, the less difficult it is for us to go ahead and get our message to the legislature on the issues that we're passionate about. So please, if you don't know who those are, give me a call, 303-263-5422. That's my cell phone number. So give me a call, and I'll let you know who your legislators are, so that you can go ahead and get in touch with them. So I would encourage you to do that.
So Corky, on the minimum wage increase, what's the time frame on that? How's that going to work?
On the minimum wage, what will happen on that particular issue will be that there will be legislation initiated during the session, and it will run through the process. And they have to do this because they have to do the enabling legislation to allow for the increases to go ahead and take effect. Now, these increases will be spread out through until 2018, where it will be $12 an hour the minimum wage will be $12 an hour. And then every year thereafter, it'll be adjusted per I believe it's the consumer price index, so that there will always be an adjustment every year thereafter.
Yeah, I think, and Janelle just wants to mention that more of the small assisted living homes, the owners need to show up at ATF rules meetings, because there's a lot of stuff that's obviously affecting the smaller communities.
Yes, folks, be aware that any of you can attend those meetings by telephone, or if you don't like that way of participating, you can come and participate at the meeting and share your ideas and join in with the discussion. They're public meetings, so don't be bashful. If you want to see what's happening, if you've got an issue that you want to bring up, take advantage of it. The dates are posted on the CDPHE website so that you know when they are. They go from 12 to 3, I believe, each program. So that's, what is that? That's 3 hours worth of committee work. And you don't have to stay the whole time if you don't want to, and you don't have to stay on the phone the whole time either. But if you do want to participate, or if you do have an idea, please attend, or please give me a call and give me your ideas, and I'll make sure that they get addressed at that session.
I guess the question is, Corky, I misunderstood it, but if minimum wage is going up, is the Medicaid reimbursement going to go up because of that?
Probably. The short answer is that's not very likely. The long answer is that we have to participate in the budget process to find ways in which we can enhance and get the adjustments that we need and should get with the putting together the budget.
Gotcha.
They do not run simultaneously. That will not happen. The fact that the minimum wage passed has and will continue to be one of those expenses that you've got to deal with in your overall budgeting of your operation for your assisted living home. There's no way around it.
And the associations involved in those discussions between Medicaid and between the legislature on the Medicaid increases, right?
Absolutely.
Very good. Other questions on anything?
Again, I would encourage you all to go ahead and make a note of these dates of the Christmas party and the legislative reception. Write those down in your day timers or put them on your Google calendar and plan on attending. You will enjoy it, and they are very beneficial. And we need we need members on the Government Relations Committee. So if you're interested in that, and if Janelle wants to join the committee, that'd be good. Any other questions?
Seems pretty quiet right now.
All right. Well, folks, that's our program for today. I want to thank all 23 of you for participating. That's really exciting when we get such a good number participating in our webinars. Watch your emails. Check out the website on our calendar and stuff. We are going to be doing these webinars at least once a month, maybe more, depending on the topics. And particularly in January, once we start with the legislature, there will be lots of topics, and I think there will be opportunities for us to be doing more webinars on those legislative issues so people can be up to date and current with what's going on. So look forward to these programs. Again, thank you all very much for attending. Have a fantastic Thanksgiving.